Hi YouTube, today I would like to do a little review of Max Payne 3. Now, Max Payne 1 and 2 are one of my favorite games of all time. I love Max Payne as a character. He's not a hero, he's an anti-hero, he's a anti-superhero because he can slow down time, you know, the bullet time option where he can he has this advantage in gunplay, basically. Might be inspired by the Matrix films at the day and at the time, and it's really these are really interesting games 1 and 2 because of the character. Max Payne is a tormented soul. He is, his wife and child were murdered. He's depressed. He's drinking. He's out for revenge. He's completely out of his mind. And the setting was really film noir. You know, he was his surroundings basically reflected his state of mind, or vice versa. You know, it was, things were taking place in New York. It was dark. It was cold. It was raining. All these places he visited were run-down buildings and warehouses and all that. And now, in Max Payne 3, they have changed the setting. Now, Max Payne is in Sao Paulo as working as a security guard or something like that. Now, I don't think this is fitting for a character like Max Payne. It's just not. It's just they basically tossed out of the window the whole film noir aspect of the game, and I don't understand why, because this was the unique selling point of Max Payne. So now he's in Sao Paulo, and it's just, I don't think it's just fitting. It's just wrong. It doesn't really interest me. Now, there's a lot of different scenery and different places to visit, but it doesn't have the style of the first 2 games. Now, what else is lacking is there's a complete lack of interesting characters and even an interesting villain. So you'll be fighting anonymous grunts and dudes, whatever. It's not interesting. Okay, now take a look. Let's take a look at the graphics. Now the graphics look really sharp, and character models are great, but I don't like all this flashing colors on the screen. This LSD sort of effects. It becomes irritating after a while. I just didn't like that. I do like the graphical style. I know they were going for the Sao Paulo, the more of the colorful, the more warmth from Sao Paulo, but again, it's not fitting the character Max Payne. Okay, that's about the graphics. Now let's move on to gameplay, or basically I must say gunplay, because it's all about the shooting. Now, it's interesting just to think, if I take away the whole bullet time thing, what's left of the game? Well, it's really a mediocre shooter then. There's an option to take cover, but it's completely broken. You can't go from cover to cover. You'll be dead in seconds, because Max can only take 1 or 2 shots, which is realistic, but it's not fun. So the only redeeming factor of the gameplay is the bullet time. So you can bullet dodge, you can slow down time and shoot enemies, but it doesn't really feel that precise. You can't, for instance, you can't enter bullet time and into cover or out of cover. So it's really unprecise. It's like you go into bullet time and then it stops, and then there's a couple of seconds where Max recovers from that, and he's basically exposed to gunfire from the enemy, and you'll die sometimes. Okay, so the gameplay is not precise. The cover system is broken. You can't go from cover to cover. As I said, it's really sticky. No, the actual you know, it's very cinematic, I must say, the shooting and the bullet time. So you'll see lots of gruesome deaths and all that, and that's fine. But it feels repetitive after a while, because the only thing you do is, because you die so soon, if you don't use bullet time, you'll be doing bullet time a lot. So you enter, when possible, you'll enter bullet time, but that's the only thing you do throughout the game. So it's 10 hours of, well, not really 10 hours, but you know, it takes 10 hours or something to finish the game, but you're only trying, you're only using the bullet time. So that the effect wears off after a while. Now, the game is sort of broken into these cutscenes. Now, as said, there are no interesting characters, so, and there's a lot of talking, so it becomes tedious. Now, I understand that that during the cutscenes, the game, you know, loads new gameplay, you know. So, but it's not interesting to watch these cutscenes. It drags on. Okay, so in the end, what we have here is a displaced Max Payne. You know, who's still tormented, who's still depressed, who's still drinking and all that, but it feels out of place, and it wouldn't be such a problem if the actual gameplay would have evolved somewhat, but it didn't. You know, it's still not as I would have hoped it would be. So in the end, this is it's a good shooter, third-person shooter, but it's not great. So barely a 7 out of 10, barely. So this is my opinion. This is what I think. Let me know what you think. You know, leave comments, and yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.